Therapy helped, the journal helped, the moving, the new apartment with the eastern light. I did the work, the structured, careful grieving. I processed you from morning into night. I graduated from the thing that held me. I closed the chapter, did it right. Then someone touched my shoulder in a hallway, the same way you would, and I came apart. The mind can't legitate what the body keeps, the memory, the chest that drops. What the body keeps runs deeper than the language, older than the reasoning that stops. What the body keeps is not about the wanting, it's the firmament underneath the loss. I am fine, I am completely over. And then a song plays and I pay the cost. I don't believe in holding on forever. I've seen what that becomes by 45. But there's a category below intention, below the will to survive, where you are less a person than a pattern, a reflex in the way I come alive. Then someone touched my shoulder in a hallway, the same way you would, and I came. What the body keeps, the mind can't legitate, the shoulder memory, the chest that drops. What the body keeps runs deeper than the language, older than the reasoning that stops. What the body keeps is not about the wanting, it's the firmament underneath the loss. I am fine, I am completely over. And then your season comes and I pay the cost. Maybe this is just the human contract, that love leaves files the system cannot clear. Not haunting, not unfinished, just embedded. A version of you permanently here, not in my thoughts, not in my choices, just in the way my body holds the year. What the body keeps, the mind can't legitate, the shoulder memory, the chest that drops. What the body keeps runs deeper than the language, older than the reasoning that stops. What the body keeps is not about the wanting, it's just the shape of everything I lost. I am fine, I am completely over. What the body keeps is just the cost. Broke the week that you arrived. We laughed about it, layered up, stayed close. I think about that week more than I should. How necessity dressed up as something almost. We shared a blanket and a bottle of red wine, and pretended we were fine, and we were mostly. Outside the city had gone gray and final. Inside you were the last warm thing I had. The last warm thing, your voice across the kitchen, your coat still holding your shape on my chair. The last warm thing, November through the window, and you between the cold and the bare. I didn't know I was memorizing. I thought that warmth was something that would last. The last one thing, I held it without knowing, and the winter came and came and came too fast. By December you were someone else's story, or maybe you were always on your way. I kept the blanket, threw away the bottle, made a rule about the things allowed to stay. The heating worked again by January. The apartment felt enormous, felt like gray. Outside the city had gone gray and final. Inside you were the last warm thing I had. The last warm thing, your voice across the kitchen, your coat still holding your shape on my chair. The last warm thing, November through the window, and you between the cold and the bare. I'm not sure love is always chosen. season. Sometimes it's just heat and you're just cold. Sometimes a story isn't what you tell someone, it's just a blanket and a hand to hold. But I would choose that November every time. Broken heating wine, your shoulder cold. The last warm thing, your voice across the kitchen, your coat still holding your shape on my chair. The last warm thing, and I was almost ready, almost warm enough to say I cared. I didn't know I was memorizing. I thought that warmth was something built to last. The last warm thing, I'm still returning to it. Every winter, every window, every glass. The heating works fine now, I barely notice. It's 3 in the morning and your number is the only one I know by heart. I don't call, that's the whole story, that's the whole war. Instead I pour something amber-colored and sit with all the words I rehearsed. The ones that sounded brave at noon and sound like ruins now. Your laugh lives in my apartment like a guest, occupying the corner of every quiet I try to build. Wanting you is a full-time occupation. I'm burning slow, the way expensive things do. I'm not a fire, I'm an ember, and I'm for you. Not the blaze, not the fury, the part that's warm. I'm burning slow. There's a version of this story where I said it first, where the words arrive before the fear, where I didn't translate longing into distance and call it being smart. I've lived in that version often enough to furnish it. It looks exactly like your hallway, it smells exactly like your coat. I'm burning slow, the way expensive things do. I'm not a fire, I'm an ember, and I'm for you. Not the blaze, not the fury, the part that stays. I'm burning slow. I'm not asking for a miracle, I'm asking for one honest night. I'm asking you to stop making sense and let me make the same mistake I've been building toward for years. I'm burning slow and I'm burning slow for you. The kind of fire that doesn't show, the kind that goes all the way down, still burning. You didn't talk much, you arranged the air. Move furniture, you arranged the air. Move furniture with patience, not with haste. You'd read in the same room without asking, existence without urgency or waste. And I, who lived in sentence and longer, slower taste, learn to breathe in longer, slow the breathing. You were the pause inside the breathing, the second between lightning and believing. Softer than silence, you arrived. No entrance music, no rehearsed design. You were the space inside the busy hours where all my loudest thoughts fell into line. Softer than silence, steadier than sound. love should feel electric, anticipation dressed in ceremony. But you showed up like tea left on the table, on the table. Warm in there, no drama, just for me. And I kept waiting for the storm to follow, then realized you were after the storm relief. Learn to breathe in longer, slow the breathing. You were the pause inside the breathing, the second between lightning and believing. Softer than silence, you arrived. No entrance music, no rehearsed design. You were the space inside the busy hours where all my loudest thoughts fell into line. Softer than silence, steadier than sound. You were the quietest love I've ever found. Someone once told me that what I needed was something louder, sharper, more defined. But I have been loud my entire life, and you were the first quiet I called mine. Not absence, not withheld, just softer, just still, just kind. Softer than silence, you arrived. No entrance music, no rehearsed design. You were the space inside the busy hour, ever found. The room is still, and I mean that as a gift. You're the only person I've ever met who makes silence feel like a conversation. I've been sitting with that for months. I've been building architecture around it, laying floors, learning the coordinates of your quiet like a cartographer who fell in love with the map. We speak in almost touches, whole novels in a glance across a room. You are the most expensive habit I have never had to fund. Ruin me slowly, not all at once, that's too easy. I wanna feel every layer give. Ruin me the way winter ruins roses. Inevitable and beautiful and worth every grief. There were other people in between you. Kind people, safe people. People who never made me feel like the protagonist of something tragic that I'd still recommend to everyone I know. I'd still recommend this. I'd sign the waiver again, with better handwriting this time, in a steadier hand. Ruin me slowly, not all at once, not all at once. I wanna feel the edges soften. I wanted to know exactly how it ends, and walk toward it anyway. Ruin me. Here's what I know about obsession. It's just love that nobody taught you a polite name for. Here's what I know about you. You're worth every impolite thing I've ever felt. Ruin me slowly. I'm already walking through the door. I've loved you in every language I speak, including the ones made of silence. There's the version I say out loud, polished, proportionate, the kind that doesn't scare anyone. And there's the version underneath, the one in the original tongue, the one that has no grammar, because grammar implies limits, and this has no limits. I speak to you mostly in the second one. I suspect you hear it. I suspect that's why you stay. My love is not a gentle country. It has weather, it has seasons that last too long. It has a winter that forgets to end, and a summer so full it almost breaks the branches. My love is not a gentle country. Come anyway, come especially. I have tried to be less. I have tried to turn down the voltage, to be the kind of woman who loves in soft pastels and polite increments. She doesn't exist. I've looked. My love is not a gentle country. It has depth you'll need to train for. It has heights that require gear that's worth the expedition. I promise you this, it is the most spectacular country you will ever be afraid of. Come, come with a coat, come with good boots, come with the part of you that isn't afraid to arrive at something real and put your flag in it and say, I'm staying. I'll meet you at the border. I've been there a long time, waiting for someone who travels not a way you've always traveled toward. That's how I knew. I packed my things on a Wednesday, choose a boring day, less ceremony. The towels we argued over stayed behind. I let you by to every corner of that room. 5 years folded into cardboard by noon. It wasn't hate that moved my hands. It was the last of what I understand. I loved you like a place I couldn't live, beautiful and wrong in all the sames. I loved you like the warmest kind of exit. I left with everything, you kept the stays. This is not a wound, this is a door to, and I love myself a little more. Someone asked me if I missed you lately. I said I missed the version we pretended, the one where we were generous and patient, the one we kept until the story ended. Not the arguments at 3 a.m., not the silence growing into something permanent. It wasn't hate that moved my hands. It was the last of what I understand. I loved you like a place I couldn't live, beautiful and wrong in all the sames. I loved you like the warmest kind of exit. I left with everything, you kept the stays. This is not a wound, this is a door to, and I love myself a little more. There's a particular kind of love that costs more than it gives back, and a particular kind of strength that looks exactly like turning back. I chose myself quietly in the hallway, holding my coat, not looking back. Oh, I loved you like a place I door closed soft. That was the whole point. Kiss me like you've been thinking about it, because I know you have. We are both done pretending this is a normal situation. This is not a normal situation. This is whatever it is when two people have been conducting an entire relationship in glances and pauses and the very particular way you say my name when there are other people in the room. I've been translating that for months. I've gotten very good at it. It says, me too. It says, what are we doing? Let's ruin the distance. Let's close the polite gap. I've been standing on this side too long, darling. Come and find me where I'm at. Let's ruin the distance. I'm not interested in slow realizations anymore. I realized in the first month. I've just been waiting for you to catch up. Which you have, which you are, which is what this whole charged moment is. You finally fully here. Let's ruin the distance, every careful inch of it. I've been standing at this edge long enough to know I'm not afraid of what's below. I'm only afraid of never jumping. So let's jump, let's ruin it. Let's close every gap we invented to keep ourselves safe from something we were never going to survive avoiding. Come find me, I'm right here. I've been right here. I'm not asking you to love me, I'm just warning you that I already do. There are cities I went to after you and walked through like a tourist in my own chest, buying postcards I'd never send, sitting in cafes with your name on the tip of my tongue, like a word in a language I'm not supposed to know. I wore red the night I stopped waiting. It didn't work. You're the religion I invented when the real ones fail. You're the map that keeps me lost, love, and I love being lost. Since before I knew the caution, you're the religion I invented. I once tried to describe you to a stranger. Some people are not made of adjectives. Some people are made of the hour before dawn, when the mind goes soft and every wall comes down, and you'd confess to anything just to feel it lift. You're the religion I invented when the real ones fail. You're the map that keeps me lost, love, and I love being lost. I've been writing this confession since before I knew the cost. You're the religion I invented, and I still believe. choose you over peace every single time. I choose the ache, the not quite, the almost and the maybe over anyone who makes it easy. You're the religion I invented, louder now on fire. You're the map that keeps me lost, love, and I worship being lost. You're everything I praise, you're everything I pray to. If I knew how to kneel, I never learned, but for you I'm learning. I learned to read the weather like a system. Low pressure means I'll think of you by 8. The city changes color before a storm hits. You always call me over, you were never late. Now I watch the window like a habit. Now I make my coffee and I wait. Now I make my coffee and I wait. There's no logic left in how I miss you. Just clouds assembling, just the wanting through. Rain protocol, stand by the glass. Watch the street, remember all the years that passed. Count the drops until they form a pattern. Tell myself you're fast. Rain protocol, I run it every time. Looking for your code, looking for a sign. You said that rain made every city honest. Stripped the performance, left the architecture bare. I think of that on days like this, when the storm pulls back the skin of everywhere. And what I see is just a street without you. Honest, bare, and almost too much to bear. There's no logic left in how I miss you. Just clouds assembling, just the wanting through. One day I'll pass the window and not stop. One day the rain will come and I'll just let it drop. One day your coat won't be the one I look for, and that'll be the day I finally learn to drop the protocol, the vigil, the glass, the very last thing built to make you last. Rain protocol, stand by the glass. Watch the street, remember all the years that passed. Count the drops until they form a pattern. Tell myself you're fast. Rain protocol, I run it every time. Looking for your code, looking for a sign. I'll count the drops until they stop meaning something, until your code is just a code, and that's the last. Rain protocol, looking for your code and finding only mine. The rain comes, I don't go to the window, almost. If loving you is a flaw, it's the only one I refuse to fix. I've done the math, I've weighed the reasonable options. I've had the sensible conversations with myself at very sensible hours, and arrived every time at the same unreasonable conclusion. There's something in the way you stand, a looseness your shoulders, a gravity around your mouth, like a book that changes every time. Love me back or don't, I'll be here either way, that's just the truth. I've built my whole cathedral out of wanting you, and the wanting is the proof that something real is here. Love me back or don't, I'm not interested in the version of this where I protect myself. Protection is for people who haven't already decided. I've decided in every time zone, in every season of my inconvenient heart. The cathedral's already built. Or you can come inside, or you can walk around it for the rest of your life. Peeking through the windows, wondering what the inside sounds like. It sounds like your name. It always has. You're not what I prayed for. You're what I would have prayed for if I'd known what to ask. Every specific thing, every specific thing. The particular way your mind moves, sideways before it moves forward. The opinions you hold that cost you something. The softness you think you've hidden, but wear on your face whenever something small and living crosses your path. I would have written all of that down. I would have been very precise. Recognized you immediately. I knew before the logic caught up. The body knew, the chest knew. That old animal intelligence that doesn't care about timelines or complications. It just looked at you and said, oh, there you are. I've been looking in all the wrong centuries. Oh, there you are. Not where I expected, not when I planned, but here, exactly here. And all the wrong turns were just the long way around to you. Oh, there you are. I've made peace with the detours now. The relationships that were practice, the heartbreaks that were tuition. The years I spent becoming specific enough to recognize something specific when it arrived. It all makes sense now. From here it all makes sense. Oh, there you are. I would have described you exactly. I just didn't have the vocabulary yet. I do now. You, the word is just you. most dangerous thing about you is that you don't even know you're doing it. You exist without effort and unravel me completely. There's a particular cruelty in that. The way a window lets the light in without caring what it illuminates. I've been illuminated, I've been exposed. Every shadow I was comfortable living in has been politely, mercilessly lifted. And you just stand there, looking like that. Teach me how to want you less, or want me back. Those are the only two options I have left. I've retired from the space in between. It costs too much and pays in nothing. Teach me how to want you less, or don't, and stay. I should have left before I learned your middle name. There's a ritual I have in the mornings that involves not reaching for my phone, not looking for your name in a conversation you haven't started. I've been practicing it for months. My success rate embarrassing is embarrassing. Teach me how to want you less, or want me back. I've dissolved the middle ground. I've evicted the reasonable options. It's just this now. It's just you. Teach me or stay. I'm asking with my whole chest. I'm asking with every failed morning. I'm asking with the phone I didn't pick up, and the message I didn't send, and the door I didn't walk through. All of it is the question, when are you going to answer? Tell me you don't feel this, and I'll call you a beautiful liar. The restaurant was loud, but all I heard was you breathing between sentences, choosing words like gifts. I've been guilty of less and punished more than whatever this is. This slow thing, this orbit that I can't explain to anyone sober. Every time I almost leave, your eyes do something criminal. Stay a little longer in the dark with me. Let the night do what the morning never could. We both know that this isn't simple. We both know that it's no good. But stay a little longer in the dark with me. You kept a drawer with nothing in it, just in case. I never asked for whom. I've been sleeping with the light on and calling it a choice. When really I've been leaving it for you, just in case you find your way back through this room. Stay a little longer in the dark with me. Let the night do what the morning never could. We both know that this isn't simple. We both know that it's no good. But stay a little longer in the dark with me. I stopped pretending virtue when I stopped pretending you were just a friend. So let's be honest in the dark then. Let's be exactly what we are. Two people who chose gravity instead of playing safe. Stay a little longer, stay a little longer, stay a little longer in the dark. Let the night do what we both know it's not simple. I don't want it to be. You've been drinking my name like it's something you need to survive. I learned your silence the way you learn a second language, by making every mistake twice. There's a photograph of us I never took, but I've seen it every night. The way the lamp made your face look like something that could make, like something that could woman lose her mind. I keep saying I'm almost over it. I keep lying in the same breath. You're the song I can't stop singing when I'm trying to sleep. You're the wound that keeps me living, the secret that I keep. I don't wanna be free. God, I don't wanna be free. They say desire fades like smoke, mine fossilized. I trace the outline of your shoulder with closed eyes. And every version of myself I've tried to build still finds its way back through your door at the same ungodly hour I promised I'd ignore. Surrender was a kind of death. Now I think it's the only thing that lets me breathe. Now I think it's the only thing that lets me breathe. So take it, take whatever's left. You're the song I can't stop singing, louder than before. You're the wound I keep repoing because I need it more. From this room, I'll still be here, smelling like your perfume. I used to dress for your attention first, not vanity, just wanting to be real to someone whose opinion shaped the weather, whose gaze could make a whole day something I could feel, whose gaze could make a whole day something I could feel. The kind of need is quiet and corrosive. I didn't name it till you made me deal. You said I see you, and I almost believed it until I realized you saw what you preferred, visible from here, but not the whole of it. You saw the part that stays up past the ending, the part that doesn't do what it is told, visible from here, close enough to almost, but almost isn't seen, it's just control. I spent 2 years becoming visible to you. The month after you left, not for you, not for anyone, for air. The woman in the mirror looked uncertain, in the way the new things always do, aware. I walked outside and no one stopped to notice. And for the first time, that felt like a prayer. To be seen is not the same as being known. To be wanted is not the same as being found. I learned the difference in the year that followed. In every room I walked through, making sound, not performing, not adjusting for the angle. Just present, just myself, just on the ground, visible from here, and it's enough now. I see the whole of it, I hope. I am the part that stays up past the ending. I am the part that do what it is told. Visible from here, and here is finally somewhere, not almost, not control. I spent 2 years becoming visible to someone, now I'm visible, and I am the one who I looked in the mirror this morning, stayed a while. You left your coat on my chair again, like evidence you meant to stay. I read your silence like a second language I never asked to learn. The street light caught your shoulder as you turned, that half look over glass and rain. And I keep finding reasons not to leave, folding the hours into shapes I don't believe. I am not broken, I am glass. You saw straight through me as you passed, and every room I walk into without you still holds the shape of what we almost were. I memorized the rhythm of your breathing before I memorized your name. Now every stranger's laugh across a rooftop sounds like something I can't reclaim. I water the plant you gave me and pretend it doesn't mean a thing. And I keep finding reasons not to leave, folding the hours into shapes I don't believe. I am not broken, I am glass. You saw straight through me as you passed, and every room I walk into without you still holds the shape of what we almost were. Maybe the ending was always right there, in the way you kissed me without closing your eyes. I just kept choosing the version of you that only ever lived inside my mind. I am not broken, I am glass. You saw straight through me as you passed, and every room I walk into without you still holds the shape of what we almost were, and the coat's still on the chair. I've been trying to write the song that makes you understand, and this is my 17th attempt. The others were too angry, or too soft, or too clearly about you, in a way you could deny. This one I'm leaving undisguised. Consider it my final conceit. I am simply gonna tell you the truth, and let the melody make it bearable. I loved you before I understood what that would cost. I love you now, and I know exactly what it costs. I love you anyway, that's the whole lyric. That's the whole confession. Every song ends with you. Minor key or major, slow or fast. I always found my way back to the part that sounds like your name. Every song ends with you. The seventh attempt is simpler than the others. It doesn't try to be clever. It just says, I see you. Not the surface thing, not the public thing. The real one, the scared one, the one that got built from all the years before me. I see it, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever decided to love. Every song ends with you. Every road, every room, every year. Didn't matter the tempo, I always arrived here. Every song ends with you. Play it again, you know you want to. We both know how this ends. It ends with you. It always ends with you. You always smelled like something before rain. That electric patience in the air. I kept mistaking tension for a blessing, not knowing tension has no cure. We spoke in metaphors, we both were too proud to trade for something clear. 1 inch more and we'd have crossed the line. 1 word less and we'd have been just fine. We were unfinished weather, storm that never broke. All that pressure building, all those words we never spoke. I still feel you in the static before every other love. We were unfinished weather, close enough, oh, close enough. My hands still know the way to reach for yours in moments when the room goes soft. The body has its own pathetic memory. It doesn't care about the cost. I've loved people who are here and whole, but you were something else. You were almost 1 inch more and we'd have crossed the line. 1 word less and we'd have been just fine. We were unfinished weather, storm that never broke. All that pressure building, all those words we never spoke. I still feel you in the static before every other love. We were unfinished weather, close enough, oh, close enough. They say completion is the gift of endings, that open wounds find peace in scars. But I still drive with all the windows open, waiting for your weather, waiting for the dark. We were unfinished weather, storm that never broke. All that pressure building, all those words we never always does, almost breaking. 3 years since I moved the furniture. Your side of the wall still gets the morning first. I made a rule, no songs before 11. You know exactly why, you know the worst. But some days I break it just to feel it. That scented hand glow, that's to feel it. That scented hand glow that still converts. I am not waiting, I just haven't changed the light. Some things you keep not out of loss, out of right. It's your scented hand glow on my walls now. Your laughter built into my nerve. I didn't lose you, I translated, yeah, and everything I've learned, second-handed, still golden, still somehow completely earned. I showed someone your photograph last winter. They said, I see why, and smiled. And I felt proud in a way I didn't expect, like introducing a favorite book compiled from all the years I spent becoming someone who knew how to love without denial. Love doesn't disappear, it migrates into how I listened, into who I let in close. You are the standard, I forgot I said, until someone else became almost. It's your sending hand glow on my walls now. Your patience built into my nerve. I didn't lose you, I translated you into everything I am and still deserve, second-handed, still golden. Grateful for every single curve. And the morning comes in golden still. We drove with no destination past the bridge where the river swallows all its light. You pressed your thumb against the fogged up window and wrote the one word I won't recite. The radio played something we both hated. We sang it loud enough to drown the night. I didn't need a map to find you then, but now I can't find north again. Come back to November, when the world was small and cold and ours. Come back to the quiet, before we learned the names of all our scars. I keep the month alive and how I remember. Come back to November. You left a tan spat in my nervous system, some frequency I can't undo. I don't miss the love as much as I miss who I was when I was close to you. Not the ending, not the sweetest morning, just the Tuesday I was breathing through. I didn't need a map to find you then, but now I can't find north again. Come back to November, when the world was small and cold and ours. Come back to the quiet, before we learned the name places I will never visit because you mentioned them first. And books I set aside unfinished because your name is somewhere in the verse. This isn't grief, it's just geography. A place I lived, a place I'm still. Come back to November, when the world was small and cold and ours. Come back to the quiet, before we learn the names of all our scars. I keep them alive, somehow it's remember. Come back to November, the map ends where you do. You move through